guys, I'm Madison Mary and welcome back to my channel. This is a brand new weekly reading vlog. So this morning I ran a bunch of errands. It is currently Monday, July 8th, I think. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to head down up to Martha's Vineyard, which means I'm currently playing with Zelda. I have to drop Zelda off tomorrow at the cat boarding place. And yeah, so far this week, it's currently week 2 of the Book Junkie Trials. I am up to my third book, and that is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling where the princesses are dying one by one, and one of the younger sisters is trying to figure out what's really going on with each of the girls who's dying. And I'm very excited to be reading that. I'll be able to hopefully get a lot of it done tomorrow in the car on the way to the Vineyard. But today I just did a bunch of things for my class, some errands. I also stopped by Book Off. So I spent a lot of money at Book Off, but it's okay because I got things. Oh my god, I almost spent like so much money. But I didn't. I had to stop myself because I could not afford to spend as much as I really wanted to. All the mangas there were like $5.50. I mean, there are a couple that were a little more expensive, but like all the good oldies, like the ones that aren't brand new, like recently released, are all like $5.50, and that was awesome. So I wanted to buy so many. But I will show you the ones that I did buy. So let me show you guys. So if you remember a while back, I managed to get Missions of Love Volume 1. And Missions of Love is one of my favorite manga series, especially since it is more on like the steamy side of mangas. So I picked up volumes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is awesome. Like guys, look at these mangas. Like it is easily one of my most, like look, favorite mangas ever. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm in love. And these were each $5.50. Zelda, get out of the bag, boo-boo. So, love. And then I spent $15 and I got the first 10 books in Switch Girl. Switch Girl is one of my all-time favorite mangas. All-time favorite K-dramas, like adaptation-wise too, and I'm just super obsessed. And when I saw this, I was like, well, I need this. Even though, can I read this? No. Do I care? Not really, because like I said, it's one of my favorites. It's just the fact of I wanted to own them, that I bought them. That's kind of the only reason why. And yes, that is it for now. I will update you guys maybe later tonight, depending on if I start House of Salt and Sorrows. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Catch you guys up later. Bye. Hey yo, so it is 12:49 p.m. on Tuesday, July 9th. And I read nothing last night. Well, I did read, I just read manga on my phone. I actually found out that to get to Martha's Vineyard today, it's gonna take us 4 hours, so I'll definitely be able to read some of House of Salt and Sorrows. But yeah, I've just been packing and getting stuff done. Catch you guys up when we leave.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned.
Hi guys, so it's 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. I did not update you guys at all yesterday, apart from in the morning, but I read 20 pages in the car on the way to the Vineyard and then didn't read any more because
didn't really feel like reading when I was in the car, and I got tired and I slept, and then I just listened to music, so whatever. Today I spent the day sunbaking and just chilling by the pool, and I've been reading the rest of House of Salt and Sorrows. So I'm on page 250, which is around chapter 25 at the moment, and that's around 60% according to Goodreads. I'm really loving the atmosphere. I love the way that Erin Craig is writing this book. I think that she has very beautiful and lyrical writing. I think that the way that she describes everything is very atmospheric, and I can picture everything. I can understand this world and all the different laws and the people of Salt and things like that. But the issue that I'm having is the plot, which really sucks. So it's kind of a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, which I love. And I'm definitely seeing it. I just thought it would be a lot more prominent, and I think it's about to be, because I think someone's about to go missing, and it has to do with them and the dancing part of the story. Which, by the way, this is definitely accounting for my bard weakness. But I just feel like the plot's moving a little bit too slowly for my taste. And at the moment, it's maybe a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought I was gonna fall in love with this story, and I really do like it, and I do love the characters. Everyone is very unique. Everyone is, you know, I don't get confused between who's who and what's what. In the very beginning, I had a little bit of confusion, but it's definitely all cemented right now, and I understand who everyone is, and I understand the lore of this land. But the issue I'm having is the plot. Also, the storyline with Annalie and Cassius and Annalie and Fisher is just one that I'm not that invested in. With Cassius, the love interest, I just don't think that there's been enough build up. I feel like the moment she kind of met him in the beginning of the book, she was kind of like, oh, I can imagine him caressing my face, and I wonder what it would feel like to have him hold me and things like that. And it's just been like a physical attraction the entire time. So I kind of don't really trust him either. So I think that's definitely a big part of it. Especially since I think that Annalie is a very strong character and she's very driven, especially compared to the rest of her sisters. I just feel like I'm just not supportive of that. And I think that's the biggest issue I'm having with the storyline. Because otherwise it's pretty solid. And I do like the way that it's going. I do want to say that there are talks of suicide, just in the sense of people, like, you don't, it's hard to explain, like, one of the sisters, when you first start the book, it said that she committed suicide by throwing herself off of a ledge and things like that, but that's kind of the extent of that talk, just so you guys are aware of it. I'm hoping that this last 40% will like blow me away, especially since I'm feeling like we're about to get to a really big plot kerfuffle. Yeah, that makes sense. But I do still think it's a very fun book, and like I said, the atmosphere in this is the biggest pull for me, is that I really love this world and what it is. I'm just not sure how much of a fan I am of the plot. So that's kind of where the rest of the story is banking on. So at the moment it's a 3-star read, but we shall see where it goes. Yeah, that's it for now. Catch you guys up later. Bye!
Another life, another story. She walked out, said I was born. About 3 a.m. is when I called my friend. We hit the bus and I started flying. Shit, I said I'm never trying till the bitter end. Every now and then I wonder what it feels like to be more than I am. I traded all my friends for drugs and the internet. Oh shit, am I a winner yet? Look quick, is he a winner yet? Mom's back home with a drink and cigarette. Traded all my friends for drugs and the internet. Oh shit, am I a winner yet? Look quick, hasn't hit me yet. Mom's back home with a drink.
Hey guys. What's up? It's 9:05 p.m. and a lot has happened since I updated you guys last night. So what happened was last night I did finish House of Salt and Sorrows. I feel so bad giving it a 3 or like a 2.5 stars, but like that's what it kind of is for me, and I don't get why, because Heather loves this book so much and I just
don't really love it as much. I went into this thinking that I was going to absolutely adore it, that it was going to be this amazing book, and like I said yesterday, like the plot was slow, and then as it went on, as much as I loved the way that it was written, because it was written beautifully and the mythology in it were really cool, but it just got very confusing, and the end felt very, very rushed. Like from where I left off, like those last 100 pages felt very rushed, but they were just a bit messy in my opinion. And I think that maybe if I reread it, I would enjoy it more, but as a first time around read, it was just a lot to take in. And I think that it has a lot more potential, and I can definitely see Erin A. Craig, like her next book, being really good. But this one just, it definitely feels like a debut book. But on the other hand, I did start on my Kindle today, ɪṛsᴛᴜ. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm running out of battery. That's great. Hang on. New battery acquired. Yeah, ɪṛsᴛᴜ is where I just started today. And oh my god, guys. It is so good. I'm so shocked by it. Like, it is so good. I don't want to open this, but I think I'm like 46% of the way through it right now, and it is like so good. So good. So this is what it's about, because I kind of went into that not really knowing much, but the prologue is, I think, 20 years prior, and it's this group of 6 kids, 3 girls and 3 guys, and it's them finding the secret passageway at this grand estate, and in the secret passageway, which is in the middle of a labyrinth maze, and it leads to this really old chapel, which is what the estate is named after. The estate is called Thorn Chapel, and they're at this estate, and it's these kids, and they're there, and they pretend to, you know, they're preteens, and they like have like a pretend wedding there, and what happens is one of the guys just kisses the girl, another guy, like the 3 of them just all kiss, like together at once. And that's kind of the prologue. And then it takes place many years later when Poe is 22. So she just completed her master's and her BA. And she's going back to Thorn Chapel for the first time since that summer. And she's being employed as a librarian to archive all the books in this library for this estate. And what happens is she gets there, and all the other 5 kids are there as well, all grown up, and kind of have their own respective roles being there. And so it's about all 6 kids coming back together as adults, like in their early to mid 20s, and it's so good. Like instantly off the bat, like you find out that our main character Poe, she is a sub, but she's actually a virgin. So it's very interesting, and it's just been really fun because you will love everything. Like it's guy on guy, girl on girl, guy on girl, like it's everything. Everyone's like identifies as like their own, but they're all different sexualities, and it is just so great and so steamy and so delicious. Guys, it is so delicious. It is like one of the most delicious books I've read in a while, and it's great. I'm in love with it, and I'm so excited to continue on with it. I will definitely finish it tomorrow, which is Friday. So I think if I can finish this tomorrow, that means I can definitely read Daughter of the Siren Queen Saturday and Sunday, which means I'll be done with my bard quest for the book drinking trials this week, which means I have the next 2 weeks of July to just, you know, do the actual quest, which is pretty sick if I must say so myself. But yes, all I have to say is, so far, ɪṛsᴛᴜ is great. I am in love with Saint. He is just my love at the moment. Saint is all I could ever want in life, and I'm obsessed with him. I also really like Beckett, but he's a priest, so it's kind of like, it's really interesting. It's an interesting part of the novel. But we do have curvy girl rep with Delphine, which is really nice because she even talks about it too, which is nice and positive. But that is all for now. Bye!
I'm popping on here real quickly, just to let you guys know, I'm in the middle of uploading right now. Who loves my hat? But I'm 69% through a lesson in Thorn. It's 3:25 p.m. And I just wanted to say that I'm about to get to the ritual scene, the embolic thing that they're about to do, and I'm so ready for it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever read a steamier book than this. Like there hasn't even been any sex in it, and yet it's still one of the most like dirtiest, steamiest, sexiest books I've ever read. Like, it is intense. Like, it's not even, I mean, it might turn into an orgy now, but so far it's just been like I said last night, guy on guy, girl on girl, girl on guy, like everything, like people dreaming and things from the past, and oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, just wanted to come in here quickly and let you guys know. Bye. Good morning. So I totally spaced on updating you guys yesterday, but my braid does not look good anymore. But I'll probably update you guys in a little bit as well. But just for now, want to let you guys know that I did finish, what's it called? Why am I spacing? A lesson in Thorns yesterday, and oh my god, if it was not amazing, I don't know what other words to use, because that was such an easy 5 out of 5 stars. Like, it was so amazing. Like, 5 out of 5 stars. Doesn't even take me a second to not choose that. Like, I think that it is one of the most smuttiest books before it even got to any sexual intercourse. It was just so beautifully written, so atmospheric. Like, you could imagine Thorn Chapel and this place and the mansion itself and the maze and just the surrounding area. Everything about it was so beautifully descriptive. All the 6 characters, very individual, all very well fleshed out. Like, no one wasn't fleshed out. I love that we had all the point, like, Poe was the main point of view, she was first person, and then every once in a while you got a chapter that was in third person, and you got like a short paragraph about what each of the other characters was thinking and going through at that time, and it was just beautiful. I am behind. I still have to write 4 reviews, I think it is right now, so I'm behind by 4 reviews, but today I'm starting Daughter of the Siren Queen. Super excited to continue on with that. The last time I read Daughter of the Siren Queen was around this time last year for the booktubeathon, which is now Reading Rush. But yeah, that's all I wanted to let you guys know for now, and I'll catch you guys up later. Bye! Okay, hey guys, so it's now, what time is it now? Now it is 11 o'clock, and I just wanted to show you guys how cool my hair looks after it being in the braid for like a day and a half. We're about to go to the farm, so I'm gonna take you guys along so you guys can see how cute this little farm is, because it is adorable. And then I'm going to start Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I'm super stoked about because, you know, it's a Daughter of the Siren Queen. And I need to know how this duology finishes off, because I absolutely adored the first book and read it in one day. So let's see if I can read the sequel in one day. Probably not, but just want to let you guys know that I did stay up last night up until 2 in the morning. I was FaceTiming Jess, Katie, and Soleil, and then I ended up staying up with Soleil for like an extra hour after everyone left, and we were just like messing around. Yeah, coming! It's around 4 something p.m. and it's my last day in Martha's Vineyard. We're actually about to, well, we're packing up as I speak. I've already finished packing up, but I have not updated you guys since sometime yesterday. And what happened was yesterday I read the entirety of Daughter of the Siren Queen. I read it in one day, which I guess shouldn't surprise me, because for some reason I find Tricia Levenseller to be quite a quick read. Her books are just very easy to get through because they're very captivating. She writes in a way that makes it so you don't feel like you're stumbling through the words, that there's not too much description going on. It doesn't feel like you have to really take your time with what's happening, and so I really do appreciate them. I think it was a really good end to the duology. It ended kind of how I expected it to.
However, I will admit that there were some things in there that I did not expect to come. I really like all the revelations that we made with the whole Siren part of the book. I think that the relationship was done really well, and honestly, ɪḻsᴏᴏ is just one of my favorite characters in the fictional world. I love her stubbornness. I love how take charge she is. I love just her femininity in everything. She really reminds me of Selena from Throne of Glass. And I think that's a big reason why I love her a lot, is because she's very reminiscent of Selena for me. And I love those qualities in her. And I also think that the storyline is done very well. I think that the different aspects that Tricia Levenseller brings to the books is very solid. And it's just a book that you can read during the summer that is just so easy and free going, and it's quick paced. That's the best thing I can say about it, is her books do not dawdle. They're quick paced, they get to the point, and they're just an adventure from the beginning of the page to the very end. And I absolutely love that about her books. I still have not decided what I'm going to rate this one. I rated the first book 5 stars, but I'm not entirely sure, because in the last year, my rating system has changed a little bit in the sense that it's kind of sophisticated, and I don't give out as many 5 stars as I used to. We'll see, just because as much as I loved it, there was never a point that I felt like, oh my god, I have to just keep reading, like I can't stop right now. You know, I never had a problem putting it down to do something else, and that says a lot about a book, because as I was reading Thorn Chapel, as I was reading Lesson in Thorns, there were points where I was like, I can't put this down, and people would be asking me to do things, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it like in a second, like please wait, because like I need to keep reading. And I don't think I really had those moments in the book, but it's still definitely a series that I love, and I think that it's a very solid duology, and there's nothing that I would say is wrong with it. I just am not sure it fits as much of the hype as the first book did. I will say that today I did start The Duchess Deal by Tessa. I'm around 45% through at the moment, and I am loving it. So The Duchess Deal is about Emma, and Emma used to be part of the higher class, but after an event, she fled her upbringing and has been a seamstress for the last 6 years. And she recently created a dress for this would-be Duchess, and it turns out that the Duke and the Duchess ended up not getting married, and so she's been stuck with this dress, and she has not been paid for it, and if she does not get paid, she will essentially be kicked out of where she's currently living because she does not have the money to pay for the rent. So what she does is she goes to the Duke and she goes, hey, I made this dress, pay me for it because I made it even though you guys decided not to get married. Like, I still deserve the money for my labor. And in the end, he ends up asking her to marry him because he is looking for a wife for the point of childbearing. He's looking for a wife who will give him an heir, because should anything happen to him, his cousin will take over and just totally abolish the family name. And it's difficult for him to find a wife at the moment because after the war that he was just in, he was hit by an explosive and the one side of his body has been totally scarred, and so he's not visually pleasing anymore, and this turns off a lot of potential suitors. Is that what you call them for male suitors, even if they're female suitresses? I don't know. And so he has decided to enlist Emma to be his would-be bride, and she ends up saying yes. Within like the first 3 chapters, she says yes, and the story is about the two of them kind of forging their relationship, and I'm really loving it so far because Emma is just a very fun character to be following, and I like that it's in third person because you kind of see both points of views, which is something that I'm a huge fan of. I like when I get to see the guy and the girl's point of view, or like the point of view of both love interests, and that's why I think I really love this one. Is it's very fun to be reading, and it's not as steamy as other books are, but it's enough in the way that I'm still really enjoying it. It's set in like the old Victorian London era, which I also am a huge fan of. That is it for now. I will hopefully catch you guys up again tomorrow once we get back from the Vineyard, because we don't plan to get back from the Vineyard until like midnight tonight, so don't expect me to update. But I will say that probably in the 4-hour car ride, I may read more of the Duchess Deal, or I may just listen to music on my Spotify. I have recently gotten back into BTS. I love K-pop, and I've always loved K-pop since I was a little girl, but I'm way more of a lover of girl groups than guy groups. But recently, with all the hype around BTS, I've decided to give them another go again, and I'm actually really liking them. I think that
I'm that kind of person who's very turned off by things that other people love. Like if there's a lot of hype around something, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not that into it, which is not like a good thing to have. So I'm really trying to get back into BTS, and I really am. I think that my favorites so far, my potential biases, as people say, is either Jin or V. So we shall see how it continues. I definitely think it's more along the lines of Jin, but I will let you guys know how that goes. But yes, I'm gonna help my dad now pack the car up for our drive, and yeah, catch you guys up later. Bye. Hey, so I'm back home now. It is past midnight. It's like 12:30, I think. I wanted to let you guys know that I finished the Duchess deal today. I finished it in the car. It was such a quick read and so good. I easily gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I will talk to you guys more about it in the morning because I want to shower now and just get ready for bed and, you know, sleep. I read a total of 4 books this week, and 3 of those books led me to finishing my Bard, the quest for the Book Junkie Trials, which is awesome. So now I'm on my other quest. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to pick up now that I finished the Duchess deal. I think I'm definitely going to pick up a physical book. And I'm between The Rest of the Story by Sarah Desson and Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. So you'll have to tune into next week's reading vlog to see what I end up choosing. Unless you're following me on Goodreads, which you'll find out inevitably there. Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I really love the Duchess deal. I think that Tessa is an amazing author, and I'll catch you guys up in the morning. Bye. Hey guys, so it's Monday and I'm just here to pretty much close off this vlog. Hi maybe, have my baby girl back. But I'm just closing off this vlog. I read 4 books this week, which is awesome. I have not read 4 books in 1 week in forever. I started off the week by reading House of Salt and Sorrows. Then I read A Lesson in Thorns, which is still so amazing. I then read Daughter of the Siren Queen, and then I finished off the week with the Duchess deal by Tessa. Yeah, that's all for this week or last week, and I'll catch you guys in the next vlog. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, thanks a bunch guys. Bye!